Okay, so this is the front line recovery protocol. We'll start out with the roller. With the chest, we've seen this before with the lateral line. You can use the ball, but I'm just gonna stay on the roller for all of these. So I'll start off with a shin roll. Real simple. My shins are gonna be going into the bigger groove on the rolligas. I'm gonna sit here like this. I can turn or rotate my feet inward just to get a little bit more of the meaty part of the muscle through these ridges. You can do it single, really try to press into it. But yeah, we want to just do that to get some good feedback, have no restriction towards the tendon, the patellar tendon, and at the femur. From there, we're going to quads. The quads, there's so much that you could do. Because this is the topic and we're staying on the front, we'll start off just going up and down. You can start off with the bottom half, moving into it, go through the whole area. Now, if you really want to lift the leg up, if they're really fried in the quads, I'm going to start at the VMO, so inside of the knee, and then we're going to start like this, rotate it out, and then you're going to pull up, rotate inward, and then bring your heel to your butt. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting to lift this area and open this area up. That's probably collapsed. And then what my body is going to start to react with is my glutes are not going to be able to fire up and function more. Most of the time when the players are really quad dominant, they'll get that tightness. They'll also feel really nervy, where it feels like it's fused together or it's heavy. After that, alligator breathing. These are super effective. Ball roller or roller, anything that could go under. So I'm gonna put the edge of the roller between my hip and my rib cage. I'm gonna sit into it. So when I'm here, I'm trying to lock my knees out and just kind of melt into the ground. Deep breathing through the breath. The roller is going to start to adjust how my fascia is feeling and move it a bit. Over time, either if you're really tight, it's either going to slide or it's going to start to allow you to sink into it more. The goal is by the end of it, that your hips, shoulders, everything can be down. You can get to just fuller and deeper breathing. We'll do both sides there. That's going to be really good for anyone that gets tight, more mid-quad, high, or into the psoas, hip flexor, just because a lot of time they're really restricted here, so it's pulling. We'll get into the groin. So many times the quad is supporting when you're making that action, that passing action. So don't have to go super deep, but you'll get some feedback in the groin. Chest rolls will be here. Just into it, up and down, moving through. 10 to 15 of them, hand and fist. Rotate, palm up, rotate, palm down. Rolling across the chest. 10 to 15 of those, or for time. So I already got into the dynamic quad rolling part. That's what I was explaining from the VMO all the way up and lifting that up, creating more hip extension in that area. Now, done with the rolls, we're gonna go into plantar flex heel sit. So this is something that's used to mobilize the ankles by just sitting here. If the player can't sit like this, you can sit on a roller, but I would advise that they try to. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive our hips up to the sky as we're here. So squeezing our glutes, right? Getting the back line to fire up a bit. If we look over our head, we're really getting everything psoas all the way up to the neck to open up. Deep breathing, and then we can relax. 10 inhales, 10 exhales. From there, we'll go into a knee lift. So we're laying down like this. One leg could be down. Just drive this knee up 5 times. I'm gonna kind of prep us for a movement that we're gonna get into after this. And then we'll go into a half kneel hip flexor, quad psoas stretch. It's all about the breathing, all about the position. Right, so I'm heavy in my feet. Right, from here I'm gonna squeeze my glutes. When we wanna open up quads, we need to squeeze the glutes, because if not, there's a little bit of that quad that's not gonna really be responding, and we're still gonna have that turned on. So I'm squeezing through my glutes, right? Now I can do a more advanced position where now you're telling them to shove the ceiling up, keep my rib cage tucked down, squeeze my belly button into spine. I don't want this position. I want to be here driving through my hips. Glute squeeze coming up. 10 big inhales and exhales. Tell them to feel their stomach open up, feel their back, that are in a good position. After that, they'll go into the ankle grab. So same position. They can fall into this first just to get the ankle, squeeze their glutes, press their hips forward, and then we're just sitting tall. They can also do one where they use the wall to get into the stretch. I mean, for a recovery day, I don't really advise it that much, just because not everyone's that flexible and also like able to keep themselves in a good position. But then this does help. Letting them respond with a little bit more hip drive, and then taking that breath. Groiner stretch with T-spine rotation. So we're sitting here like this, palms of the hand are gonna be pressed, feet are gonna be pressed. Lock this knee out. All right, now I'm here, I'm sitting into the groin, keeping this knee pressed out. Rotate. Coming back. They're not that advanced, they're not that stable. Keep that knee down, diagonal in the back leg so the hip flexor is still opening up. Breathe on the way out. Keep your eyes on your hand. The eyes will allow you to have a little bit more range of motion. What you see is what you move with and you follow. From there, we'll go into Cobra. Now, some players are going to be able to do this with no problem, just through the elbow. And then some are going to be a little bit more advanced and flexible. They're going to do it through their hands. I'm not able to do that too well. I have a little bit of some SI joint issues, but with that, we want to tell them to press and drive their hips into the ground, squeeze the glutes. Eyes up towards the ceiling. Deep breathing. Now we don't want to get to a point where we're crunching up everything in the lower back. That's not what we're looking for. So we're looking for that control to open up and lift. So that's why sometimes the position on the elbow may be better to ease into, and then they can get a little bit more advanced. But again, these are some young players. They should be fine. All right, now into dynamic motion. So dynamic hip flexor stretch with T-spine rotation. So we're just adding a little bit more motion now. So we're here, rotating this way, rotating this way as well. So we can add both of those motions. Just make sure that we're focusing on the same protocol, driving the hips up, squeezing that glute, lengthening, and getting the T-spine involved. So now we're connecting, opening up, and shifting. From there, quad stretch into hinge. So they'll sit here, hinge, move into it. We can alternate it just so it's not awkward and has more of a flow. 10 to 15 yards, going there and back. Coach's call if you're gonna do it twice. The more you do, the more it opens up. Plantar flexed, foot drag into hip extension. So it's basically just like a slow motion walk, right? I'm gonna get that foot pointed, squeeze my glute, press out, don't let the back dip. So I'm kind of getting into this forward lean, or you can just rotate in, come across, and allow it to stretch. Really positive feedback with that one. It's just a bit awkward. So from there, bilateral hip bridge. So we're using this in the idea not necessarily to activate anything, but to just continue to open up through function. So hamstrings or glutes are gonna be turning on. I'm driving my knee away. So now this is like a stretch for the front side as the back side turns on. Opposites, again, we'll have an opposite turn on, other one will shut off a bit. So that's what we're going for. Box bridge or step up. So if we have a box, we step onto it, go into, oh wait, that's the wrong one, sorry. Box bridge, step up. Oh shit, yeah, sorry. So we're in this position, 45 and 90 in this knee. Now, I'm gonna have my arms in front of me. I'm grabbing something, not really, but that's my idea. Squeeze my hips forward, open up those hip flexors, groin. From there, I'm going to rotate, drive up, get the hip flexor to open up some more, and then I just step up, and I'm in function. So I'll show you again. 45, 90, press up, good posture, cores engaged. Squeeze up through the hips, glute squeeze, rotate, so now my body is in line with where my position of that back leg was, that front leg when I was in the position of the bridge, and then I'll step up. We'll do 5 on each side. Knee drive with band. So if I have bands on my feet, I can go in a supine position, can hold it, not too much, but again, just a lighter band just to get everything to fire up. Dead bugs, and then planks. The dead bugs, from here like this, 90, arms locked out, press those shoulders down, palm up. Tell the players to keep the knees slightly bent so we keep a good spine position, get more engagement in the front, and then as they start to get control, they can open up and push that heel away, lengthen out, spine still flat on the floor. And then a plank. Elbows under shoulders, hands are pressed, engaged. Get the lats firing up, turn everything on in that spiral line. And we're gonna make sure we're locking the knees out, squeezing our glutes, tucking our tailbone down so that everything's starting to open up as well as engage. Keep your eyes in front of you and then just deep breathing. You can call the time. Again, this is an activation, so it doesn't have to be something for like a minute. It could be 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Get engagement, get the body feeling good. 1 to 2 sets. And then again, feel free to add other actions, but keep it with the trend. So we can figure out what the players need the most, or we can go with something different each of the recovery days, but this is just something more in an organized fashion that will help.